Hello, I'm Romain de Vaubert. I'm the creative director for Amplitude Studios as well as the head of the studio. So, welcome, and you are watching I Know Your Game. Basically, we always been big fans of what we call 4X games. So 4X games are strategy games where you rule an empire, and you can play the way you want, through war, diplomacy, economy, science. It's up to you. And of course, Civilization is one very famous one. Mass of Orion is another one, and the whole games we created at Amplitude with the endless series of games were also, the idea to take, the 4X genre to the next level. Well, our dream always was to be able to create a 4X game in history. So the big idea with that is, to create, to look at history as, playing a civilization which is in a way a combination of cultures. If you look at Egypt, Egypt is an amazing country that, at one point was ancient Egypt, as we love to look at the pyramids, and then it became Greek, and then we had the Roman invasions after Cleopatra, and then it became Roman, and then we had many other invasions, with the Caliphate and with the Mamluks and the Ottomans. We have the English. We had all these moments, and all of that, all that past, creates what Egypt is today. And it's one of the most beautiful history on earth, and we have many others like this one, and we want to look at history as from a historian point of view, what about the story of Mongolia, and looking at all the Mongols and the huge empire of Genghis Khan, or looking at the empire of the Spanish colonies, and and Carlos Quintos, where the sun would never set, on his empire. It's amazing to look at all that, and again, Spain is an amazing country. But if you look, at the history, they have also an amazing history, and we want the player to feel that they're writing history, and they will create their civilization through these combinations of different cultures, and that's their strength, that they are. And what they do it for posterity, How will you be remembered by, And that's the system of fame. Whatever you do in game will, mark history, and then you gain fame. Well, obviously, these elements, I described, are key. They're never been done before, so they are, in a way, huge additions, to what we try to do on our previous 4X games. But also, you'll see a lot, of very unique elements, very key elements, or very refined elements from this legend on space. The terrain is something like we touch base on, with Endless Legend, and it's something even more central and key to us in the game. Tactical battles that we have in the game, they are full tactical, and our Endless Legend players, or I could say all the Endless players from all our games, been asking us, please, we won't have tactical battles, we want to have full controls over the battles. So it's something also which for us it's a huge stepping stone, and we have access to all of that as well. So there are key elements, like these ones, but of course, exploration will be key, and we have all these gameplays, that we can't wait, to share with you guys, for diplomacy, through, how we're going to create our own civic system, to create the society of your dreams, and all these elements is stuff that you will discover later. So today, obviously, it's too soon, because what happens for us usually is when we have a feature that we love, but we can't get right in time for the game release. It's something that we think of. Okay, maybe we'll either release it later as an update. Maybe it's too big, to work on. We don't have the means to do it now, so we'll be maybe an expansion. But the end of development helps us a lot to decide, what could be the next updates and expansions. Because it's it depends on what has the game has today. The game will be huge at release, with like 60 different cultures. Obviously, it's a lot of game units. I don't know how many hundreds we have in the game between the common units, unique units from the cultures. It's huge. So it's a lot of content. So that's already big. So it's hard already to think how much more could we add to it? But we'll see. I know that even with 60 cultures, you have people from all around the world who will say, well, you forgot my culture, or, what about that culture that was so interesting? And obviously, you could never stop, basically, because even today, you have over 200 countries in the world, so obviously they're not all covered today in the existing cultures or packs that we have. But, then if we look at that for all of history, it's a lot, it's huge. So obviously, yes, we'll definitely want to do that. I guess modders, we'll decide also to expand and add, what's very dear to them, in the game that the game is not covering. So it's a combination of all that, and we'll also decide, and also maybe, we work a lot with the community, the games together. It's something we have created where people can vote for things. So probably also that will help us give us some directions. So for now, we know the game will be out next year in 2020. Exactly when, it's not sure. It depends. What happens, discussions we have with the community. So 2020 is all we know so far.